You're watching a syndicate program.
The Emperor has been expecting you. I must obey my master. Indeed, you are powerful. It is pointless to resist, my son.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Toychest, episode 55 on February 23rd, 2026. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
Alexander Storm from SKN Shadow Nose Network.
Hey, what's going on?
And Tommy from Bliss Transmissions. Welcome.
Hello there. Hope everybody's ready to talk some Star Wars toys.
Yes, I mean, This is our Monday show kicking off the week.
Yes.
Because we've got lots to do about our collections. We got lots to kind of like go through and save up and spend and see what's out there, see what's it's a lot. But first, of course, we have to give our Shadow Council a proper sending here. On Wednesday, you guys will get your full on support and shout outs. But if you are interested in our Shadow Council, which is our financial wing of the Starlight Digest, scan that QR code, get involved, and see what's happening in the future. So, also, all our channel members and our pit members are here waiting, like James Morrow, and he says, with the major tariff declared unconstitutional, we will definitely see prices drop. He's expecting a call from Margaret Robbie.
Right there with you, James.
Exactly. Ray Stanley is checking in. We have the Max Rebo experience. Let's see here. We've got Star Wars Collective. What up?
Do it.
Yes. Michael Galupo. What's up, y'all? Drop in to say hi, but hey, catch you on the replay. Tommy's latest podcasts have been killer. If you haven't checked them out, yes, absolutely.
Appreciate the love.
We'll see you on replay and, of course, on Discord, right? I mean, everybody, the conversation never stops. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bliss Transmissions is there and here, too.
What? Everywhere.
Dana checking in. What's up, Star Wars fan? What's up? Let's see. Who else? It's Scott Solo, F your information. He's talking about some Yak Face drops. We got Hal Runner Base. We've got the man, Meeks.
What up?
Super nice, dude. Super nice.
Yeah,
dude.
he is.
Rhino Hobbies checking in. Let's see. We've got, if I miss anybody, please let me know. Let's see. TD3 Chuper.
What up?
I know we got Stu John Jedi checking in. We got Dr. Brantley. Wow. William Rodriguez. Yes, we got to talk some Star Wars toys. We got Bolts.
What's up?
Love it.
Love it. Bolts.
Okay. First off, our mailbags. Have we been getting anything in the mail, physically or email wise? I know I got a couple emails.
I got some emails too, Mooch. I got some emails too. Yeah.
We did get some emails. If you look at this list right here, it is the I think it's the Count Dooku wave with the Seventh Sister
animated
and
waves.
Quinlan Voss. So they are on their way, according to the Pulse. I have my finger on the pulse, and they're saying they're sending us these things soon.
Yes, they entered my pile of loot with Big Bad Toy Store on Saturday, so that's exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I got
then
those three. Yeah, those three. I think that's it, right on that wave.
Yeah. And then, as far as this list goes, with our vintage collection action figures, there has been. Nothing is happening.
No movement.
I haven't heard one word, no movement at all. But I do want to bring up Ray. I think it's Ray Stanley who mentioned that he has not seen any. Here we go. Still hasn't seen any new Star Wars toys at Walmart or GameStop, which you're probably not until March 22nd. That's the big release day for the new figures for Mando Grogu. So stay tuned, my friend. They are coming, just not yet.
Yeah, we also got an update. We have a pre-order date. I don't know if we mentioned it last week for the Obi-Wan and Airborne 2-pack.
Oh.
It is going to be March 13th as part of Walmart's Dumbass Collector Con.
Oh, yeah.
TBC.
I forgot about that.
Yep. So you can pre-order it for it not to ship when it goes in stock, and then if it does go in stock and you order it, they'll ship it in a clothing bag, and it'll be played 3 games of soccer with before it gets to your house. Yes.
Sorry, all mitten box collectors. It's just not a thing anymore.
Love Walmart.
Or just walk into Walmart. It'll be on the shelf probably, and you'll still be waiting for your order year.
It'll be on the shelf with a clearance sticker on it. There we go.
Right.
Beautiful.
Right. Yeah. Or like my Walmarts where they pierced it with a gut with a tag.
Oh, I can't believe the security tags. I remember that. Crazy work.
You had the sticker that you had to carefully remove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, as far as what's coming though, we've just got some those shipping notifications for the Black Series, and that's it. So stay tuned.
For my Hot Toys people out there, if you ordered Savaggio Press or Plo Koon and you have them paid off, I just got my emails that those will be shipping on Tuesday, tomorrow.
Ooh, man.
So they're both going to be on the way.
Those last payment, but I love those last payments, man. They're so good.
Yes.
Hal Runner just got a 7th sister in today. Awesome. They're probably the first one out of all of us that got it in hand. So Chet Maddox checking in. I've been getting weird notes made from newspaper clippings.
Weird mail. Yeah.
Yeah. Super melee Supreme Leader Droid. Oh my God!
There we go.
Sorry about that. Hey, fellas, this is where the fun begins. It can be fun, especially when you're messing up names. Cassidy is checking in.
What up? That was an awesome ad, by the way, Cassidy. I love that ad you did for Cube Squadron tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna get into Cube Squadron really fast here.
Yeah.
RMG Collective, hello there, long time watcher. Thank you so much. New time chatter. Hey, Ernie from the Fallen Fed brought me here, and I'm looking forward to the new Mando TVC. Thank you. Yeah.
Why is Ernie?
Why is Ernie? And if you know, tune in on Wednesday. So
and you'll find out. Real quick before we jump into the Cube Squadron. For those of you who are TVC collectors, though, if you check out Yakface has got a couple of links. Or actually, he's got one link for the Remnant Snowtrooper on Amazon is only $16.99 right now.
Alert!
As is, I'm going to drop it in chat really quick. There is a link for Walmart as well, where not only is the Remnant Snowtrooper, but also the 11th Brother. They are both $16.99 at Walmart right now. So if you haven't yet done your pre-orders yet, get them now real quick while the price is cheaper.
Yeah, because they'll catch. Well, I don't know if they catch it.
Catch it eventually.
Yeah, they do.
And they go back to normal. Yeah.
Then once they see that all of a sudden a bunch of units start selling, then they're like, "What's going on?
What's going on? What did I miss?" Yeah. And then, put a couple zeros on that sucker and let's move on. So. Oh, hey, Dana. Hey, guys, I'm watching Attack of the Clones while I'm listening to you guys. Hey, Scott's favorite Star Wars movie. So, Is Attack of the Clones still number 9 on your list?
No, Rise of Skywalker is number 9 on my list. Yeah.
Okay.
As it should be.
Yes.
So real fast, guys, I know that I've been bugging Cassidy from Cube Squadron to jump on here or give us some updates and everything, and he's eventually coming. I just want to still bring this to our attention. Cube Squadron is in 8th gear at this moment. It's got 1,200 backers, 300 more, guys, 300 more, and the Kickstarter launches, and you get the reveal of the final cube. So it is coming. We're going to do more as it gets closer to that. If you guys know, you know. If you don't, head over to our Syndicate Discord, because there's a Cube Squadron section. It's all about the Micro Galaxy Squadron. Series 8 is out, or 10 is out right now, and if you want to find a home for these ships, Cube Squadron has you. So more to come. It is still a thing. It's like hyperspace. It's just coming. Awesome. And I think the closer it gets, we'll have Cassidy on to launch the Kickstarter and go from there. It's a fun ride, man. It's a fun ride. And if you haven't been paying attention to his Instagram, please go on there. Cube Squadron Kickstarter, 300 more backers. In fact, it's under 300 at this point.
Wow.
So
great.
I wanted to bring that up and just kind of push that going some more. So
Definitely.
Nice.
Attack of the Clones is a holdover away from perfection. Wow. These guys don't like me. Oh man. Stu John, Dr. Brantley, can you think of something currently in production that is much worse than Attack of the Clones?
Come on, cut it some slack.
Well, he has worked on the crappiest movies in Hollywood. There's an authority figure on that. He slicked us all in the theaters. So yes, he would probably know.
Yeah, Bolts, Q Squadron, what they sweet IG video today. IG's on fire, man. If you want lessons in how to promote stuff, Cassidy, that's man. James Morrow, I need a Vintage Collection Colonel Ward. Yeah, he didn't. They didn't. Wasn't a Colonel Ward in Vintage Collection, huh?
Not yet. I'm sure there will be
Sigourney Weaver's character. Yeah. So, to put on the ATRT to fight the Hot Toys Alien Queen, great custom idea. I think that'd be awesome. Well, speaking of future waves coming into the Mandoverse, Yakface again. Yakface is going to be one of our little flat. He's always our go-to for the latest and greatest news. And he's one of the sites that I go to vet anything that I hear to. If he posted, I'd be like, okay, it's real. This is real. And
he's the prophet.
Yeah, and he posted a thing. He's doing some digging, and he found out that there is another wave, a specific Mando Grogu movie release is coming soon. And these are slated to be probably in stores at the fall, but announced probably sooner, either on the movie launch date or shortly thereafter.
I wouldn't be surprised if these were announced at either like a May the 4th event or also I could see them waiting until after the movie comes out and doing San Diego Comic-Con for Mando Grogu Wave 2. Yeah. Now I do want to say that Wave 2, those 3 characters that he has under Zeb, the Snowtrooper, and Embo, those are just speculations. I think he's saying these make sense in a wave. Yeah,
particularly in Black Series. Yeah, but I think there was 6 characters released in the next wave for Black Series. I don't know if it's the same for Vintage Collection.
TVC's got 5. Black Series has 6.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude, and that's where I wanted to kind of gauge the. Well, you guys have an ATRT, which we'll get into later. So you got a vehicle. Do you guys feel so far this Mando action figure wave is hitting it harder than a Disney Plus show or being a movie theater release and actual theatrical? It's been 6 years, right, since we had.
Yeah. So what I understand about the market research that Hasbro has done over the last, the Disney Plus era of Star Wars, which I'd say we're out of the Disney Plus era now, because when we were really getting hammered with shows, that was like 2019 to 2025. I'd say we could bookend that as like the big Disney Plus era. They found through the market research that having a bunch of figures out before the show drops in the same way that they would a theatrical release does not help sales at all. Whereas with a movie, it's a big event. You bring your family, you go to the theater. Half the people don't even have Disney Plus, and half the people don't even know these shows are coming out. Right. So they've found that the sales aren't affected by, whether or not you release them before or after the show with the Disney Plus stuff, as with the theatrical. So to me, this makes perfect sense. I think this first wave is a great spread of spoiler-free, just a bunch of bad guys for Mando and Grogu to beat up on, and Mando and Grogu themselves. And then the second wave, I think the second wave will be, of course, after the movie airs, and it'll be a little more spoiler-heavy, stuff that we haven't even seen yet, and obviously things like Embo, they were saving him for a big surprise for the trailer,
Yeah. It makes 100% sense because at first when I saw both these waves, besides a couple characters, it was kind of like one of those, all right, get these out of the way, I'm gonna order them all, I'm gonna pre-order them all, but of course they're coming, and I'd rather get that out early than be like the next wave is a remnants, troopers and stuff, because we have all the remnants and stuff from the Mando series, right? And I also look at like I don't know how you guys are looking at like these waves if you're getting them. Are you putting them on in? Because I look at it as a Mando shelf, right? So the ones that stand out to me is like a General Ward, an Embo, and a Zeb in live action. And so funny because I did pre-order the Mando Grogu, but I'm on the fence because I was like really adamant, like don't want the same Lando, but that damn Grogu is articulated to the point where, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how you guys kind of like
it's a trap,
I mean, I split mine up. You can see behind me, this is Mando season 3, Mando season 2, and then behind me is Mando season 1. So I have a shelf for each season of the show. So I'll probably do the same thing for the movie, give it its own shelf. And of course, if you're going to have that, you need a Mando at the center of each kind of character poster of a shelf.
It's true.
So
you do. There was that promo shot of the Mandalorian who had almost like a bluish suit, more silver and blue. I'm expecting we'll probably get a different outfit variation in the movie, and I heard it was called the stealth suit. So
I did hear about that. So part of me wants like, okay, I want that version to separate it as the movie version versus the same. But again, you can't find Mandalorian in the stores right now anyway, so there's a perfect opportunity to get them back in the swing of things and get the kids in their hands, right? So
that's the thing about the stores. Out of respect for Tommy, I now refer to Attack of the Clones as one of the worst Star Wars films,
except for the clones.
He's spitting. What can I say? I think he'd be correct in those statements.
But you go to any store right now, and you're going to find empty packs, specifically Target.
Yeah.
I mean, empty pegs.
Target's always empty.
Except for those Actionverse figures, right?
Yeah.
I really do think that they're prepping for the March 22nd.
I mean, it comes and goes in waves at retail. You have your dry spells, and then it's usually when they're clearancing stuff out, they're preparing for the next reset. In the retail aisles, and I think it's very evident. I was just at one of my local Walmarts today, and they're usually pretty heavily stocked, and it's all just peg warmers that have been sitting there for the last 5 years. So, maybe one day they'll finally clearance those out, and then we can get our Mando Grogu stuff out in the display.
Yeah, 100%. RMD Collective. I wish Force Friday was still around for this Mando Grogu movie.
It could be,
and that's where.
It's going to be like a Force Sunday because March 22nd is a Sunday. So
but it wouldn't be on the same day though. Like wouldn't have a Force Friday kind of an
event.
We
would have this is the Sunday.
This is the Sunday.
this is the sun.
This is the Sunway. This is the Sunway.
Loud Dude 77. Thanks for checking in, man. But yeah, no money, no toys. Yeah. Hey, we've
all been there, my friend.
Been there.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be Sunday is that's a hard sell. That to me personally. I mean, in my opinion, that's a hard sell.
I mean, that's
if
what
they
Target...
do it as a midnight release. I mean, Saturday you go wait line at Saturday midnight hits.
Yeah. I don't see them doing that. I think it's just a street date thing. Like all the Target exclusives for the last 5 years have always been on a Sunday. They always drop on a Sunday. I've gone there several times the last couple of years with Jackson and Jacob from 1313 podcast, Hybrid Toy Reviews. We all meet up. We go to Target on a Sunday morning right when they open. They always have stock, so I'm hoping that that's what happens with this Mando Grogu stuff. hopefully, I mean, it sounds like there was coordination, whereas, especially during COVID and stuff, there wasn't. I mean, Yakface reported weeks ago now that all this stuff already hit the ports and it's already being distributed across the country. So hopefully this product is ready to go on the 22nd. My worry is that I live in one of those regions where, like, my Walmarts are so hit and miss. None of my Walmarts ever even got that collector end cap that everybody got to check out all over the country. None of them. I have 4 Walmarts within 30 minutes of me. Yeah. Not a single one of them ever got any of the figures from that end cap, never got anything in store. It was horrible.
Skipped past you right over.
Yeah, but then there was, like, my region was the first one in the country last year to get the Captain Rex, Moff Gideon, Anakin wave around this time last year. So I don't understand retail.
It's the manager. It's the manager.
Yeah.
Commander Cody's Vault. Thank you so much for even being here.
Thank
and
you.
A $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it so much. Evening, gents. Happy Monday. Stopping by for a few minutes before the NyQuil kicks in. Happy stream.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Hope you feel better.
You
feel better, man.
Yeah.
Feel better. Yeah.
He's been sick the last couple days. Hope you get better soon, man.
Wow. Yeah, it was great to see him on your stream, by the way.
He was. Too. He did. He made his debut. He was sick, but he still showed up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only one Walmart in like a 50-mile radius of me got that giant gondola in the center aisle, and
that was. I mean, exactly.
It was great, but I none of the others.
There's still we're still in this kind of like, that's why I don't give it any thought about Force Fridays or midnight things anymore. I honestly, at this moment, that ship has sailed. I don't think we'll ever, like, retail is such a bad place these days for anything. It's not just toys; it's just bad place because it's all about online. I think the retailers know that. They're gonna, this is why the Collector Con exists and why the Target has their thing too. You know what I mean? And
you can call it what it is, dumbass Collector Con.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just like the word con, it is a con.
It's a con. It is a con.
Yes, con job. Walmart's con job. That's
double entendre right there, man. That's great.
And I just, it's like it's for those of us that have been involved in those and how fun it was and the camaraderie and just like all the hype, it was great, and we love that if it carried over to other people who didn't experience that stuff. That's why we push it. Here's the thing too: if they did, how much, I know probably the 4 of us would do it, but at the collective, would it be supported? You know what I mean? Would we be lining up at midnight to buy toys in the hundreds that we've seen it in the past?
I don't know about midnight due
Yeah.
to the strains that everybody has on their working environment now, but I do think there is like an event that they could do to drum up that. But also that goes with us too, because while we do say, hey, we love to see these days and these things do, right, we're the ones that are rushing out and pre-ordering everything online too.
We are.
When when we give Hasbro positive feedback, they seem to do positive things. They listen to it. In the same sense is that they've done that with San Diego. We haven't quite complained enough about Target and the Target Geek Out and the Walmart
geeking out, right?
We haven't actually complained about that enough to make them make shifts, but they did do that at the convention level now, because everybody was like, wait a minute, hold on, we want conventions to be more of an event. Don't just drop random
right
figures.
On that.
They started doing it, so I think that power lies back within us. I think we've got to actually demand a little bit more.
I disagree, only in the fact that I think that the retailers like the Walmarts, because I mean, as a G.I. Joe collector, we've been bitching about Walmart for years and the way they would get exclusives. I know, man, but and if you're a big enough retailer to where you're providing them with enough money, they don't care. They will give you, sure, give us the money. Here's something you can put on your shelves. I don't see that changing anytime soon, man.
But the pushback is that we have retaliated with it. Because how many times have you been into your Walmart and you've seen those figures sit and sit and sit until they eventually have to push that out the store? So we have kind of retaliated with them. If you're not going to give us good plans and good strategies and everything, we're not going to support that. On the other hand, though, Target has been kind of making the uptick, and also with the Joe things and point, they started end caps now with the Joe stuff all of a sudden. So now they're starting to pop that up a little bit more because they're starting to notice that Target is doing that. Because I was at my local Target and they've got a huge area ready for Star Wars and Disney, the Disney-like area.
Right,
They've been building that up. Walmart's gonna have to catch up, and I think you're right. The only time I saw that collector's thing, I think it was at the Target that you went to. That was like about a good 40 or 50 miles away from myself and Chet down here. That's the only time I saw that major, middle aisle display. But I didn't see it anywhere. Yeah, I never saw that around the country. But that's what they need to do with with Toys R Us not being around. Who did do that?
Yeah. Loud dude, I need a couple grand to catch up. So many cool things come out last year. Seriously. I've said this before. I stopped collecting for a while and then I got back into it. But it only took one figure to get back into it. And honestly, it was very easy. And through eBay and Amazon sales and stuff like that, I got caught up really, really quick. But you pick and choose. You start kind of like a personal little collection of what you want. You don't have to get, unless you want to get all in and be a completionist at that point. But Ray Stanley, I'm going to wait to buy the Mandalorian Grogu figure on March 22nd or 23rd. Hey, you know what? I like we were saying, I think we're going to find those in the store. So, I mean, by all means, go to the stores. And we're talking about something. It's the attitude of the buyer and stuff, and this has been a debate since COVID, right? For 6 years now, it's been a thing, and Star Wars toys in general is a pyramid. If you have good IP, you have good sales. You got people that want to go out there and find, and you have your collections. Retail they have no control over anything other than somebody who orders so many cases, and it's all based on back performances, like this sold before and now it's not selling, or whatever it is. And so my thing is and again, I don't know how they factor in their online sales for their in-store sales, right? Are they doing the Toys R Us thing where they're going to shoot themselves in the foot, by not stocking and then depending everything online, right? Because Target and Walmart, you can get everything online. We, for the most part, are in an online buying habit. We pre-order everything and then we find the stores and we cancel our pre-orders. What we're saying is our attitude is that we're going to buy these figures, but the retail is like, no, we're not going to buy them, but we are buying them. But it's just our behavior is different. And I think that dictates, it causes for a great debate to be like, if they had a brick and mortar, say franchise Toys R Us store that's, to come back into the United States or whatever, could that, I mean, they're trying it, right? But an actual franchise so people can independently get a contract through a Toys R Us distribution or whatever it is, and could it succeed in our current behavioral, buying habits?
I think it could. I think it could succeed. I think here's what they need to do, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. They've got to get back, and it's the Hasbro, the Mattels, everything. They have to get back to caring about the actual in-shopper retailer experience. They used to have a dedicated person, just like they did in any other industry, that was there to curate that experience. Now they do that at high-end stores. I don't know about anybody else, but you walk into let's say Louis Vuitton, you're gonna they curate that. They want to have people come into the store. They push that out,
right?
We've kind of let that go, that customer experience, that point of wow, this is grand. And I think it does start with the end caps. I think it does start with these big displays. Netflix is willing to drop that stuff. That Stranger Thing Island and Target, it was exploded because they needed to get that. Hasbro and a lot of these companies feel like now Master of the Universe will probably be our test, because they kind of up that for that movie and do that
competition, dude. Competition breeds innovation. Mattel, okay, real fast. So I want to welcome in Mando Mike checking in, and we've got Bly, who's here, but he's not first. I think always. But you said something. I think the retail establishment and the corporations should pay attention is the experience. What do we do weekly on all our shows is about our experiences, our past experiences, our the stories that we have. Again, our collection is not just plastic on the shelves. It's a story behind it. And it's a personal journey through all of us about going to the stores, finding those without the magazines and stuff, and finding those waves on the shelves. If it's just one or two figures and it's the same two figures on the peg for 3 months, I'm not going to the stores anymore. Our experience, our stories are just as important for the buyer's behavioral experience than it is of them stocking things. So if they want to bring us back, then they have to kind of give us those platforms to create those experiences again, right? I mean,
I would say it's not just one party's fault. I think I think where we are, especially now, I can really only speak to back to like 2020, 2019 when I started really collecting as an adult. And what I've seen is I walked into Walmart today, okay, and I saw brand new Series 10 Micro Galaxy Squadron, picked one up.
Yeah.
Right next to that, and I have posted a short on my channel that you can go check out. It's Black Series figures from 2019 and 2020, loaded up on the pegs. It's characters that have been peg warming for years and years and years, and that is a sign of the previous Star Wars team that were just making figures for the hell of it, didn't care what they were putting out. The mentality was, oh, the Star Wars collectors buy everything, they'll just buy it if it has Star Wars on it. And that was very much the attitude towards Star Wars as well in general at that time. So I think that we are at a time, who would want to go shop at a... I love that I muted myself.
Yeah, it's you got
who would want to go shop at brick and mortar at your Walmart and your Target when every time you go, you're going to see the same 10 sorry ass figures that have been sitting there for 5 years. You know they're not going to clearance these figures out ever because in their computer system it just says, okay, we have X amount of Black Series sitting on the pegs right now. We don't need to restock or move this product. And that's where I agree with Alex. You need someone that is a toy department specialist. I know that my local Target still has that, but it's then that falls on Target though, because they don't order the stock to sustain the toy department of the store. We have a person there that is in charge of the toy department, making sure it's curated, making sure everything, but they're not getting enough stock to put on the shelves. So it kind of, and where does that come from? Collectors aren't coming into the store. Why aren't collectors coming into the store? It's because all the selection is horrible. So it's like this roundabout, we're on the merry-go-round and we're all chasing the blame on the next person. And I think that this is the first time since 2019 we have the opportunity to have a separate section in the toy aisle for Star Wars. The end cap where it's all the Star Wars stuff for the new movie all together. And I really hope that this is something that entices people, which just like those gondolas with the geeking out, all that stuff, you gave people something to go to the store to look for, not just hey, the new wave is dropping that you're not going to find because we don't restock the shelves. It's becoming an event. If you make an event around it, that is going to be something. And I think that that's the plan, judging by what we've seen with what's come into the ports via Yak Face, what's being distributed. Everything's already here a month in advance. And so I'm hoping that we will see more people, more collectors enticed. And the other thing I think is very intentional about this is the first edition boxes. You can only find those in store at Walmart and Target, which tells me that Walmart and Target may have some sort of special display for the movie to make that movie poster in the toy aisle. You're enticing collectors to physically go and find this collectible variant of this product that you will not be able to order from their websites online.
Yeah. To kind of put a bow on that too, here's the thing about all the retailers should know. We all have and we buy those figures. We eventually get those in hand. It's how we get them and how we continue to do it. You know what I mean? So you're right. If you want us to go directly to Hasbro, then can keep doing what you're doing, right? If you want us to come into the stores, then I don't know if it's like say for example Target and Walmart's exact obligation or something to do it, but the reps have to be there. The Hasbro reps have to go there and put those end caps together and make an experience. You know what I mean? And do select stores, doesn't matter, but we do need that back in some sort of fashion. Star Wars has come back to the theater. This is big for us. This is not just a sci-fi movie. The whole overall experience is it needs to be there. Look, it might not be as dramatic as 1999 or Force Awakens, but something, right? Something that just gives us that hope and just kind of like excitement to build up. Hey, in 2 weeks we're going to go into the stores and this is launching, or there's going to be, like I said, the first edition boxes or whatever it is. Yes, we're old, but you know what? We're still kids. We're still kids. Tommy says he's an adult, but he's still a kid, man.
Yeah. That's the other part, though, is now you have another generation of fans. And that's another part is, I think that the toy companies are finally figuring out that there's another generation that is nostalgic for Star Wars, just in a different aspect, in a different way. Whereas that they're just pumping out, dude, I go to every Walmart and there's Ewok Village Leia. Dude, I'm sorry, nobody wants that figure. No kid, no collectors walking in there excited to see Ewok Village Leia.
Not anymore.
On the shelf. And I honestly, I could say the same, because you know what else peg warms at my local Walmarts everywhere? Senator Mon Mothma, Luthen Rail. To collectors, those are cool. To Star Wars fans, those are cool. I'm sorry, it's just guy in clothes to little Timmy running down the toy aisle, or to the casual fan. No one's going to pick that over a Stormtrooper or a Mando. It's just the way it is,
Not anymore. Again, not anymore. Back in the day.
Back in the day, everyone bought everything.
We were everything. Lobot sold out, Tommy.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sure, he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was in the burn pile. No, I'm just kidding.
I still go to every store. I go to every GameStop, every Target, every Walmart, several times a week, every Ross. I'm constantly sending Mooch photos of figures I find at Ross.
Yeah.
But so for me, that experience, going to the stores, it's the hunt. I know what I'm going to see whenever I walk in, but I still do it because I've done it for the last, almost 37 years, something like that. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think
I'm not going to stop, and just the pre-ordering doesn't matter. I'm still going to go out. I'm still going to find.
Just guarantees
I do
that
that
you're going to have. Like I said, we're eventually all going to have the figure, no matter what. We're not missing out.
You've got to get it back to a level where you there's a lot of things in retail where you train your audience what to do, your consumer, and I think the first edition, the in-store white boxes, that's great. But I think also Hasbro has to get to the point, and Mattel, and I know McFarlane does do this, and I will give him his respect on that. But they need to get to the point where they're saying this is only an in-store release.
Right.
Yes. This item is
like Comic-Con. It works for exclusives.
Yeah. They see it work at Comic-Cons, but this is an in-store. So there's out of a wave. This is one you physically have to, and if you can frame it to the retailers, where this is going to drive more traffic into your store.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you got the opportunity to uptick them while you're there. If they started doing that, because McFarlane has done that, and I know that Nacelle is doing that.
Yeah.
I think that will get people back into I can't get this figure online. I've got to go in the store and buy this now.
Yeah. What about an opposite approach, right? What about a in store where the stores get the figures first and then they run out and then it's pre-ordered on and then Hasbro does that pre-order. You know what I mean?
I also think that this is such a larger conversation than just toys at this point. It's
sure.
Like what got me last May the 4th to go to GameStop and buy the 501st helmet, which I was unsure if I was going to buy at all. The Black Series 501st Trooper helmet, was that GameStop was offering in-store only this challenge coin.
Correct.
So I went to my GameStop on May the 4th and got a challenge coin, and it works on collectors, it works on fans. But the other part of it, though, is, and I know there are other channels in this same niche that we're in that bitch and complain, for lack of a better phrasing, about, well, I don't want to go to the store to go get this. I want to just order it online. I don't want to have to go and go out into the world and do things and touch grass. I'm like, but
first world problems.
That's where it's like, is this a hobby or is it a community? And the other part of it is, are we trying to build a community that is solely virtual, or and that, I think that literally just goes against what the collecting hobby of any IP is. This whole hobby has for decades been about the hunt, going out, finding the figures. We make whole I make whole vlogs about going and finding figures and making whole videos about what's in the store right now. And there's an experience. You meet people that way. You make friends that way in the same niche that we're in. And I think that to say that's just outdated, just the dinosaurs go hunting for toys, toy hunting is dead.
You put it out there, you watch.
It's not. That's my thing is like we need to stop pretending that and that's Nicholas Hallows, collecting or just consuming. I love that because when it's like, all right, click my pre-order over and over. That's probably why I'm so excited to go out to go find these first edition boxes, because I've planned something with, I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I'm planning something with Hybrid Toy Reviews and 1313 Podcast, because we all live in the same region. We're making an event out of going to the stores and finding these figures. Yeah. And it's like tag teaming. You're helping your friends. Oh, you need this? What are you looking for? I need this. Let me know if you find it. And
absolutely. Yeah.
That's where I think we need to get back to. I think that in a lot of ways, we are kind of returning to where the hobby was not in the same way exactly, of course, in the same way. Think of like 2007 and 2008, we had the Clone Wars animated line, the 30th anniversary line. Character selection was excellent. The choices of releases were excellent. You had things like, again, the collectible coins with the 30th anniversary line, something to get people to go look, because then there were store exclusives that had like special coins, but sometimes they were gold and sometimes they were silver, and you had to look in the stores and go find them. And I think that we are much better with character selection. We are much better with what releases they are choosing to come out, as opposed to even 5 years ago with the Ewok Village Leias and your guy in clothes and all that stuff. We're getting much more Star Wars toyetic characters now. I think the next step is this experiment that is the first edition boxes. I'll be interested to see how this goes, and I hope that friends of ours document this in the Syndicate Discord and talk to us in our videos and on Instagram and on posts and stuff, saying how this experience will go. And this is where now it does fall in Walmart and Target's hands to actually stock the shelves and have the things ready on March 22nd. Because I swear to God, if I go to these stores and I don't find anything at these stores, I'm going to lose my mind, dude.
I mean, he's going to go full Ernie. He's going to go full Ernie on Horse Friday. There was nothing there.
We've got stories, man.
I think that's our responsibility too, though. And just like like when Tommy did the Black Series Most Wanted, maybe we need to create our own event and to make it like Star Wars in-store collecting. And then we start really in the Discord and on the shows and everything, and start highlighting what are you finding, having people take pictures, put it in social medias. We should actually do that to force it so they will see that people still want to go to stores and find it.
We know Hasbro's listening as far as like the hype and everything behind things that we do and stuff. And you're right. And I'm gonna hit the pit here in a minute here, but like there is a lot of us who send mixed signals to these companies too, because we're clamoring for it, because we, again, our channel and our experience is all about what brought us joy and what brought us, in our collecting world, what the fun about it. And then there are those, just the keyboard, like I'll just pre-order, throw it in the corner in my house and just, like I said, just consuming. And so those mixed signals are being sent to the suits. You know what I mean?
But
why put that effort?
It's that same culture that we've created. These are the same people that want to just pre-order everything. They order all their groceries. They order all their fast food. Everything is done from the phone or from
different
the computer,
times, man.
And you never have to leave the house. And what I am seeing, though, is the counterculture that's rising, specifically with both of our generations, really. And there's the millennials in the middle. They're ruining everything. Just kidding. Just kidding. If you're a millennial, that was a joke. No, but there's whole like studies on the internet right now that are happening. Scientists are doing studies and stuff, seeing that there's actually a rise in popularity again of going to the store, going to the mall, going to the movie theater, doing things out with people instead of just everything on this little white screen that we have in front of us right here,
Well, I mean, we lived through it in 2020, right? When the day things opened, the floodgate, Disneyland was a perfect proof. We're opening and it's gonna be $100 more. I don't care. Wow, I just got to get outside.
We were there.
We're a social animal, and we need to, and we do act like it, right? And nostalgia drives. SKN did a great podcast or live stream about nostalgia. It doesn't die. It's not gonna die. And you know what? We're here for it.
They also had great coverage of the Toys R Us opening. That was another thing that shows the interest in going to the physical locations.
So here's a thought: why don't we, as a podcast, actually see if we could table at a Target or something on a release date and see about driving up that excitement.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be.
We're always down, right, Scott? I mean, we always do things like we're
you and me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I see you, Pitt. You guys are on fire in there talking about nostalgia, missing the store, going to the stores and everything like that. And we all are on the same page. We read you loud and clear. And Gen X for life.
Yes. That's right, man.
Also, I saw the Max Rebo experience about if he goes to the store, you got to snap a photo of how you look and put that on. We definitely need to see that. If he goes, he saw that, I want to see that.
Yeah. It's crazy. And on one hand, it's like, nothing lasts forever, right? So if you don't adapt, you die. Again, Toys R Us's story, if you know, and KB's, all that stuff. And this is a different time and everything, again, at the end of the day, we still collect what we're going to collect. Hal Runner is, even if Hal Runner wasn't, he still is, right? So yes. Wow, dude, Gen X's peak of civilization. Who else here had a Quaalude? Oh man,
That's crazy.
Another thing that might drive everybody back into stores is this whole news about tariffs going away. A lot of people were jumping at the gun, like tariffs are going away, prices are going to be back to normal, reduced, and all that stuff. And
Good one.
And of course, 2 seconds later, no. And again, not to get political and everything, but there is a lot of talk about the prices in the stores now reflect tariff prices. $27.99 for figures specifically. Our hobby is the price with tariffs. It's $24.99. Then you have the $3 markup.
That was Hasbro's statement.
Yes.
Whenever they raised the prices. Yes.
We know a $3 markup is the tariff price. That is a 100% confirmed and everything.
Yeah.
Now, the day comes, again, not getting any political. See if it all goes away. Are we getting that $24.99 price, or are we structured to the $27.99 and it is what it is now, no matter what, no excuse? And Hasbro can come in and say that we're going to raise it anyway. It's just, what do you guys think, real fast on that?
I think like all things, if the consumer drives the price increase, it will happen. If they drive the price decrease, it will happen. The same thing we're looking at the car market. You're not going to buy $100,000 truck and shit. It's going to sit on the lot.
True.
And, it's like it's going to drive the price down. I think at 27, look, first of all,
take that back.
It's not going away. They're not going to just erase $3 off. That's not going to happen. But
they'll find a way.
I think that there is a way that we can constructively get the price down without damaging the industry at the same time. And you just tell people, this is a road too far. I'm not going to do this. And it pushes them. And I think competition has been, Mattel's ramping up some stuff for this summer. And I think that you need bigger companies to really come in and start saying, no, this price is going to be this. It's the same way you look at your groceries. Yeah. If General Mills and says, no, we want the cereal for this, and Post raises it to that, the consumer balances out to where it's going to be.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, and you guys, I don't mean to disrupt, but if I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me, is Hasbro the only one to come out and say our prices increase and here's the new price and what we're doing? Because
no, McFarlane did the same thing.
He did, yeah.
Did they? Okay, so all right, because I know we were talking
Super 7.
We were talking before how Mattel is kicking things into third gear. I think McFarlane, these other toy companies that are popping up, a lot of the independent companies are popping up, and I like that. For us, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Hasbro might not see it as a great thing, and when I say Hasbro, because that's majority of what we have is Hasbro, Star Wars.
Yes.
Right? So they might not see it as a good thing, but we see it as, like I said, competition breeding innovation. So price wars could erupt, all these things about like how much are you going to eat out of the tariff prices versus what we're going to pass on to us and all that stuff. And a lot of lines have been drawn in the sand on that. So I wanted to bring that tariff thing up because if it does happen where, again, that's for a different show, a political show. If it does go away, are we going to see that being reflected in our own hobby? Or again, like I said, is it something that's already here to stay and it's just out of sight, out of mind on there? They won't even recognize it, and then just $27.99. Or I said that Black Series, $19.99 for Vintage Collection, $27.99 for Black Series, right?
And that's the other thing is we had this conversation I was on with SWTVC over the weekend, and we had like a similar conversation. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm happy to pay what I'm paying for these figures. But that I think is important for us consumers to understand why things cost what they do. I think it's very the more educated you are as a consumer, especially in something like a hobby, it's important to understand what plays into the price you're paying for these items. And it's important to know that a chunk of that comes from a tariff right now, just like in the same way a chunk of that comes from the astronomical licensing fee that Disney makes all these companies pay for not just Star Wars, but Marvel and all these other licenses that they carry. And then every time the contract comes up for renewal, they jack up the price of the licensing fee even more. So what are these companies going to do, though? Because it's like, okay, I'm paying out the ass for the licensing fee, but I have this nice this monopoly on this brand in this on the figures. So it's kind of like it's a balancing act in that way too. It's
very true.
There's so much that plays into it.
I'll answer that question for you, Tommy. They start making original toys again.
Yes.
Because when they were making original toys, they didn't need the licensing. So if you actually started, and you can test this at the same time that you have your Star Wars and your Marvel and the rest of the thing, you can start coming up with more original lines, push your own stuff. And guess what? When they find out that toy companies are like, well, I don't need the Star Wars license, or I don't need the Marvel license. Guess what happens? That license fee starts coming down a little bit.
Yeah.
You dictate the market for what you're doing. But when you're just, we just saw SH Fig Art saying they're going to be in a couple of American distributors. Look, that's probably going to help Hasbro a little bit more, because nothing screams the price of a Black Series figure is better than when you sit it right next to an SH Figure Art figure price. Yeah. So that may happen when you see it on the shelf, but I think it's a time where they need to just start building their own brands and start reverse engineering like they did in the early 70s.
Remember the pyramid, right? You have to have a good IP that sells a good product.
Exactly.
And if right now we are in this rinse and repeat mode, and we've been in that since the 1990s. We've been in rinse and repeat. What sold? Transformers. Let's do it again. What sold? G.I. Joe. Let's do it again. And you want us to do something new? We don't have no creative people around us to do anything new. And I love Gen X. I'm a Gen X, but I blame us because it's like, we're consumers. So where is our contribution to these IPs where we can do this? We all have great ideas, but we're a consuming generation, right? And because as kids, we didn't invent this stuff, we just consumed it. So where are these where are these new IPs? Where are these things? And this is an SKN topic, but you got to look into the independent realm, because one day Walking Dead's a perfect example. Independent mainstream, dude. So it's there, and you're right. Once they start to do some original stuff and to have some good media behind it, I think you can reinvent yourself in better ways than just another rinse and repeat. So the one thing I know that I'm reading the chat, guys. Trust me, I'm reading it. I'll hit you guys up here in a couple of them. Sean Woods, I love the thrill of the hunt. Picked up my fourth game. Hell yeah. And fifth, Hot Rebel Trooper and Jango Fett this week. That's as collectors, sometimes it's good to have peg warmers so we can get them as we need them, and not just FOMO where I got to get them all and then they're disappeared forever. So I do like that in a sense, but not Ewok Leia, of course. We don't need
or Luthen Rail.
We don't need an army build those. So Michael CF. The desire to sell toys can be a powerful inspiration. We can thank the toy industry for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Hey. They dominated the 90s.
And Transformers, man. And Transformers.
Yeah. Transformers is on the conference call of Hasbro. I think Transformers led the profitable stuff. Star Wars is still, losing money or not making whatever it is, but Transformers is a powerhouse. And let's see. Collecting Star Wars, there could be a happy medium where Hasbro gives us more desirable characters with more accessories and better quality that would justify a higher price. I think we're halfway there. I think we're more than halfway there. I think the character selection has been really, really good, and the accessories associated with them has been better. Yes. I don't think we'll ever get to the whole lights and sounds and electronics and other stuff, but that's. I mean, hey, we don't have it. We're how many years into it? I don't think they're going to stop now. But again, that is all in the licensing. There's a sacrifice there, on
right.
That. So, let's see. But speaking of trying to persuade Hasbro into doing something, out of the reveals, the TVC reveals of the Mandalorian Grogu and the Black Series reveals, there's one glaring thing missing that I thought in 2023 or 2024 it was going to be something moving forward, which was smaller vehicles for Black Series. And then last year we saw nothing, but we did get the little diorama sets, So it's like, all right. So if we're going to be alternating years, this 2026 should be a small vehicle year for Black Series. I plead to Hasbro. ATRT is the smallest vehicle that you can get in the Black Series that's not going to break the bank. It could be $10 more than a TVC one at this point. Don't include a driver. I don't care, but don't abandon the idea of small vehicles like this in Black Series.
It's kind of ridiculous to me that we're in the big 2026. Hot Toys released one, revealed it like almost 5 years ago, released it almost 2 years ago now in ATRT. They're going to come out with another version of it for the Mandalorian and Grogu. That is 2 for the 1/6 scale, double the size of Black Series.
Exactly.
TVC just made a brand new one for the new movie. Vale's Toys, the knockoff company, made one in the 6-inch scale. They're beating Hasbro to the punch on that one. How in the hell did we not have an ATRT in the Black Series yet? And this would, to echo off Mooch, Hasbro, Star Wars team, are you guys trying to make me into a TVC only collector? I want the ATRT so bad, and I know TVC is going to double dip and give me a Clone Wars version of this ATRT in the next 12 to 18 months. Meanwhile, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how we could possibly sit here and not have an ATRT in the big 2026.
The Topps 375. I'm not familiar with Black Series as much. How did the Stap and Bloodfin do in the Black Series? Well, I mean, I think because one was they're both exclusive. They were Comic-Con exclusives. Or at some point. So they're still, if they were, I think they're, honestly, you can still get the Stap. I'm not sure about
the Stap is still in stock, I believe. I know that the first initial wave for the Maul Bloodfin sold out online, so that they restocked it. If you do a second run on something, it's typically what's the word? Not declared, but it's typically considered a success. If your first run of a product sells out, the second run is really just to keep it in stock because it's a desirable item and to sell to people who missed out on the first run. The Stap had over 8,000, I think it had 8,800 units in its initial run. It is well below half of that initial stock. So I would say that is considered a success as well. So they sold well enough that I think that it's crazy they don't do these still. Absolutely insane.
It's still there.
I don't want, look, I'm a Black Series collector mainly, and I just don't want the Black Series just to be a figure line only. And I'm talking premature on this because last year we did get some great sets. We got some absolute bangers of dioramas and everything. I think much needed in this space. But the year before that was starting again with that absence of vehicles. I know the vehicles didn't do good in the past. Leia's or Rey's speeder, Luke's land speeder, and the dewback and smaller. They did sell. I mean, but I guess not in the abundance that they needed to. But again,
the problem
the Last Jedi happened too. So
the problem was that the Black Series vehicles were clearancing everywhere in mass quantities. That was the issue with them initially back in 2015. And it was to the point when they tried to bring them back in like 2020 with the 40th of Empire, and they did the Snow Speeder. They were actually selling that at a loss at MSRP to see how it would do in the stores, and it sold horribly. So that kind of told Hasbro they need to dial it back. That's probably part of the reason that they're so apprehensive to doing vehicles at all in this line. But I will say, I mean, I consider, and I know the Hasbro team considers both the Stap and the Bloodfin to be enough of a success that they know there's enough people willing to buy these single-man, smaller vehicles here.
That's what I'm saying. There is enough there to continue that. Again, I don't want the Black Series just because, again, when they released the ATRT driver, I was like a driver, cool. I mean, but it's a small enough vehicle to, it's not an ATST. It's not, you know what I mean? You don't have to come up with the stand. In fact, as someone mentioned in the chat, it's like, do you want it to come with a driver? At this point, no, I don't. I just
just a vehicle by itself
and make it $60. I mean, that's what I would think a vehicle alone.
Well, they could also made to order it too, man.
That could be a great.
I think that if you want to test on this a little bit more, Snow Speeder, it was a little big.
It's big.
So that one was
expensive too.
That kind of did it in to put it on a retail shelf. But if you start, like we've always said, like the Jedi Starfighter, you do it as a made to order. And then you can start testing it through your own retail. You don't have to have Target and Walmart and these guys. It's too big. We can't carry this on the shelf. And don't do it as a HasLab. Do it as a made to order.
I don't think we'll ever get Black Series HasLab.
So. Don't do it too small.
Agreed.
And I guarantee you, because Comic-Con has, Darth Maul, we were there. It sold out at Comic-Con. Went out because it was something a little design. And the packaging was better than your typical Black Series release. And that's what helped all of the play sets or the dioramas.
And maybe it's a ramp up, right? Maybe it's a ramp up. We're so far, Black Series has been very on point as far as people clamoring and being excited for the character releases. So maybe it's going to be this point where it's like, all right, boom, another wave, another killer wave, another killer wave. Yo, Trev, you know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, boom, ATRT or HasLab ATST would. I think honestly, the ATST would sell very, very well, but not at $500.
No,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But an ATRT doesn't have. There's no gimmicky. It's just basically a statue with a figure on there. Even if you sell the driver separately, okay, you can get away with it. And I think you can get away with it pretty good. There's not that many parts associated with this vehicle. You know what I mean? It's a cabin and 2 legs and some turrets. I mean, I'm oversimplifying, of course. I understand. So because I know Hasbro listens. So
the other part of it is this, though, is I can tell you this. Hasbro's the suits. They love to ruin everything, right? The suits, they view made to order as a riskier option than HasLab because at least with HasLab, they, and just to explain it for people watching here, they make the tooling, yes, like they make the preliminary product that they're going to show off to you for the HasLab, but if it doesn't fund, they don't have to make it, and they don't have to make it at a loss, especially. Whereas with made to order, they're committed to making, they have to make it. They can't cancel a made to order.
Where's the risk, man?
They could cancel a made to order, but they have to, let's say they sell not enough items, not enough units to actually make their money back. Now they still have to make the product at a loss. So for them, and especially with Black Series history, we have a role play failed HasLab. We have a Rancor failed HasLab. We have vehicles that are they usually don't do well if they're larger than your little speeder, like a single man vehicle. So it's really hard for the Star Wars team to get the suits to have confidence in returning to this kind of a product. That said, I think that's where we were talking this whole episode about making better choices with character selection and releases. I think to Alex's point, I think that doing something like an ATRT is a perfect made-to-order thing that you could get a lot of people on board with.
And if you take some risks, I think our confidence goes up even further. What did I look? Mr. Stevie's on fire. Like his socials, he's out there doing the thing, man. He's
always doing the Lord's work, man.
Yeah,
he's always doing the Lord's work.
And again, to say what you will about the Tron HasLab and everything, and again, I didn't like the offering, but you know what? He made a fan out of myself over one statement he made. At least I tried. That's what I was like. You know something, dude? I like that because you know what? It puts it out there that you're thinking everything. Remember when I said if we had that notion of like, look, guys, here's our whiteboard of Black Series, and most everything is on it. It's just the fact that timing and support and just everything comes in line. Maybe we'll get to it. Like the G.I. Joe team did that, and I think that's why they're very successful. They said everything's on the board. The flag, not saying they're doing it, that everything is on this table. You know what I mean? And they're showing it. They're producing some bigger items that are selling very well. I don't understand why Star Wars cannot do the same thing. It's and I think it has a lot to do with the past people at B, where they were like, just give them another stormtrooper and shut them up. Just give them another clone trooper and shut them up. It's like,
give them carbonized, give them credit collection, give them holocom.
Right. Yeah. So with Ton, we collect, and Watto and stuff. Look at the amount of people that were like fist pumping and excited and pre-ordered and happy about it. It was like, you know what? That might be a risk to the suits, a cheaper risk, but we all applauded and we all like, yes, we're in this. So I would love the notion of risk taking in Black Series once again. Give us another chance. Brought out the Rancor, whatever it is. ATRT would be a perfect stepping stool. And you know what? If it doesn't come for another year, just the notion, like, tell us we want to get to this. That says a lot to me.
I think that if we end up seeing, decent sales, good sales based on the figures from this movie, that we could see a resurgence of it too. Yeah. I think we just got to give it a chance. Yeah.
Stone Mando's checking in.
What's up?
Yeah, the flag is a table. Exactly.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally.
You might get a new Razor Crest. That might be in the.
That's going to happen.
In the cards.
That would be a great made to order.
That's going to happen. They're going to do that most definitely.
Sean Wood, of course. I plan to see it again. I'm going to see it every weekend. Just pick a day of the week, like every Friday night until it's out of theaters. That's my goal. Check this out. We've got Commander Bloy, member for 5 months. You made stuff we want. We buy it. I don't know.
No, we won't buy it. We won't buy it. No, we'll bitch and cry about the fingernails on the figure not being painted or something stupid like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's easy for me to sit back here and be like, guys, take risk. When Hasbro's like, look, we barely made our light bill last month. I don't know the situation of whatever the bills that they have to pay, and because those CEOs need those bonus money.
Maybe the CEO doesn't need to make $10 million a year, but that's another conversation for another podcast.
Yeah, he could take a 30-second of that bonus and make a Rancor for us to just be happy.
If there's one thing I know that the four of us don't disagree on, it's that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so, I mean,
cut CEOs' paychecks.
Yes. #chop them.
Yeah. What did what did he say? He said, I forgot. I saw it in chat. It says, if go out and support the local toy store, and if you can't make if you don't want to go do one, make one or something. I think that's a great idea too. We only talk about it because we love this. We love doing this. We love talking about it every Monday and on other shows and everything. And Clutch is behind us, and the journey of going outside, touching some grass, and then going to our stores and going to the toy aisles. Right. For me, I just send Scott. Scott does that for me.
It's true story.
I mean, he's an enabler. Yeah, exactly. You need this? Give me 3, please. And oh man, but of course. Stanley, I'll wait till
Mooch. Yes, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, man.
So I'm gonna
take care, Scott.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I will see you on Wednesday, man.
All right, dude.
Later, man.
Keep it nerdy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mando Mike. Maybe the suits should have knowing we'll buy whatever they produce with common sense. With common sense is a key. Yeah.
I like Max Rebo's comment. I like that one right there.
The last one. Let's see.
No, the one before that.
Max
A couple
Rebo.
more. There we go.
CEOs with. What are we doing? You know,
they're already doing that. They're already doing that, sir. Middle management.
I don't know about you guys, but my Chat GPT is very encouraging and very reasonable with myself. So I mean,
once the shareholders find out how to
actually
actually prompt stuff, that will definitely happen.
Yeah, look, guys. Again, I think the notion of competition, SH Figuarts is now selling at retail, or the notion of that, I think that'll open the gates to more. I think that when Star Wars in general starts to sell their license out more and more, like, you know, to other third parties and just stuff, Hasbro is the definitive figure company as far as the 3 3/4 and the 6-inch. They've got that unlocked. They're doing a great job at it. We'll never take anything down from it. And I love the fact that we do have momentum going into these type of talks where an ATRT can be, you know, a reality in the Black Series. Again, it's one of those things where I look at the least amount of risk would be that vehicle. You know what I mean? Come with a sticker pack, make it a clone version and an Empire version.
Okay, there's something that's good.
You know, that will work.
Hey, look, man, we're very reasonable, right? I thought collectors are very reasonable. So,
well, I think there is. Look, no matter what, even if you're thinking you're not taking a risk, you're taking a risk.
Of course you are.
That you're putting out on the market and everything. You don't know what's going to work and everything. Look, just them doing the Mando line Mando line that we're going to see in the next. That's a risk. You don't know if it's going to sell well at stores.
100%, dude.
So whatever you're going to do, but I do think, and this is where Tommy can actually, also agree, is that we're still seeing decisions and things that are still the thought process from old teams. And so
old hat.
The new team is trying to build their credibility.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in a very good way.
They are.
But it's going to take them time to put their staple and say, okay, now we're embedded here because the older guys was the status quo. We're going to do. That's why you're seeing these figures still sitting on the shelf since 2020.
Well, the character selection says a lot about the team's knowledge of Star Wars itself.
Yes, it does.
Right? So,
yes, it does.
You know what I mean?
And
because they're like, hey, make this, they'll buy it. Trust me.
I never thought this would come out, this Bounty Hunter Ventress.
Exactly.
What a niche in the grand scheme of things. What a niche.
What a deep dive.
Yeah.
And it was great. And again, and also it is a turning point where we as consumers, I think we feel we're being watched or heard also, right? Like, hey, like they trust us and we trust them at this point to be like, all right, the next wave, you know, I might not like all of them. I might not buy all of them, but you know what? There's some great ones that I could fill in and do my thing. And the more excited I get about a certain couple figures, I end up buying the whole wave anyway, just because of that. You know, it's just the FOMO and that excitement of the whole thing, right? So, I think Tommy, you said it great. There's a lot of streamers out there that do send mixed signals to these companies.
Oh yeah.
I one of my pillars on this show on the Toychest too is to look, we're not positive about everything. We've never claimed to be positive about everything, but I'm not going to bash something that doesn't deserve to be bashed, and I'm going to praise something if I think it deserves praise, right? So going forward, you know, I am going to be like, guys, if you can't trust us to buy these smaller vehicles or creatures or something in the larger scale in Black Series, people are doing it with G.I. Joe. They're doing it with Transformers. They're doing it with Vintage Collection, which is the price point is not even that far anymore. Trust the Black Series collector a little bit more, you know, and I think it'll work.
I think you walked that line extremely well, Mooch. But and I think you did it in a way, and I'm just not going to do that. My whole thing is that there's individuals out there actively promoting a negative point of view because they do know clicks and likes and it works for them.
Boom. Oh yeah. Hit the nail on the head.
The more negative they are, the more that clicks and likes it works for them, and then that's the problem of it is that we get to the level where constantly in every part they're going to keep doing that. That's what we can't do, man. We have to actually promote and do things where it's like that's not the behavior that works, because if you look at the core of our syndicate shows and everything, there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism.
No.
if you're pushing them in a way that's going to create something that's going to be better. But there is an active point of people out here that want to love to see things crash and burn. And they've constantly been doing that. And so now, and like they don't, and you notice when they make their flips, they don't get the same views when they positive upstream.
Of course, yeah.
And so what we've kind of seen in our process is that, guess what Hasbro listens to? Guess what Mattel listens to? Constructive criticism from passionate individuals. Guess what they no longer want to listen to anymore? The tone deaf, I just want to crap on your products constantly. Yeah. So, you know, I think this is why Mondays have become a very good level for this form of communication.
Right.
Because people feel like in our chat, I'm sure they feel the same exact way. It's a part where we can just discuss what we can do to make things better, not burn it down.
Yeah. And it's passion that comes through. Yes. You know, I want this because I want to see it in my collection. I want to put the display together. I want to build around it. I want to go. You give me one thing, and the chances of me buying stuff that enhances that one figure or play set, whatever, goes up 100%. You know, like for example, you give me a Bespin thing, I'm gonna go buy more Ugnaughts and more, you know, more Bespin guards, and to build around it. You give me an ATRT, even if it was Clone Wars, I'm gonna actually take a bit closer look at my clone shelf and be like, all right, I missed out on a few that I need to kind of like
look what the new Black Series team has done in the last. Let's just take the last calendar year. Yeah, you know, when you look at the Mustafar set, when you look at some of these, like, you know, we got the Bespin, we've got how much pushback did they get from, like, did you hear anybody go around, oh, that Bespin set, that was the worst thing? No. It almost slapped them in the face, because now there was nothing they could say. Oh, well, wait a minute, now they're doing the same thing like Premium. They're putting wires in the capes and everything. See, that's where, when you have people that are knowledgeable about Star Wars, speak to the fans, also speak to the people who are talking to the fans, I think you're starting to get different ways of thought. And that's that's what's killing off a lot of these other, like, you know, podcasters and channels out here, because now, like, you know, that bad behavior is no longer you know, status quo. Well, you got to give us something more.
Those channels are one trick pony. They only know how, they don't know how to have conversation or have actual passion for something. So it's just negative all the time, every single stream. And then, you know, we have to, it's almost like trying to portray yourself as like some highbrow intellectual, where I'm too smart. I can see through all this nonsense that they're trying to sell me. And it's also to the point of the never going to be good enough mentality. You have to give them their flowers when they do something right, just as much as it is our job to, as commentators, really, to share our constructive criticism. But I think there are also, it's the getting of the emotions of people. You know, you'll be like, let's say last year, Black Series Anakin coming, the Clone Wars one coming with double pinned knees. That's unacceptable for Black Series in 2025, in my opinion. And when I do my review of the figure, I express that. I'm disappointed to see that. But then there are people that get on a live stream and they take it that next level, where they'll be like, this is such a slap in the face. They did this on purpose. They chose to do it on this one because they knew we'd buy it, and they hate you. They hate you. You have to make it. It's like, dude, just give it a rest. Don't you have other things in life to be concerned about than to get so bent out of shape about an action figure?
They hate you. You know? That's a great
But that's the strategy, Tommy.
Yes.
That outrage.
Pulling on the heartstrings.
There are literally people that their point of conversation is, all right, this is my character, this is what I need to do. The refreshing part about that is what you get on, you know, the Toychest or all the channels. You don't get characters. You get real people that are just giving their honest opinions, and I love that. I call them Sith fans.
Sith fans. John, I don't like that. I dropped a stream over the weekend when they started on its slop train. I mean, I consume. I go out and everything, and the people that I watch and everything and support is because they actually speaking to me. They're speaking to me, and I don't want it all just like, this is a great figure and move on. This is a great figure. No, let's talk about things, and if it deserves to be talked about, then let's do it. Like, for example, General Ward, Sigourney Weaver's characters comes with her pistol hands. She doesn't come with pistols.
In the comment.
So you know what I mean? So that's a constructive. Yeah, exactly. And that's a constructive thing. But at the same time, you're not saying they did it because they hate you and they're on their whiteboard is we hate everybody. Let's give them these figures.
Can you pull up Stone's second to last comment, the one above Bly there? Some people think they're reviewers, but they're just critiquers. That is such a I know all of us here on the panel, Scott included. We do this because of it evokes a feeling when you get that figure that represents that character that you love or that character you think is cool. It's whether I'm being constructively, critical of something or positive about something, one way or the other. I mean, I think the biggest example I can give you is my thoughts on the Republic gunship HasLab. I could tell you a ton of things that I wish were better, a ton of things I didn't like. There were so many things we've talked about on this show that we didn't like about the campaign, but the way we frame it is not attacking the people that made it. It's not attacking the product itself. It's because at the end of the day, what the Republic gunship is for me is my dream HasLab. That's like one of my most favorite pieces of imagery in the prequel trilogy, which is what I grew up with, and in the Clone Wars, which is what I grew up with. I buy these figures because of the feeling. I remember, why I bought the latest Black Series Boba Fett? Is he the greatest figure ever? No, and I have criticisms of this figure, but I bought it because I remember watching that show when every episode came out with my college roommate. Right. And we sat together at like 3 a.m. and we would watch it when it dropped here on the East Coast on Disney Plus. That is what it's about. It's about the memories. It's about the and I think that's part of it too. You have so many streamers out there. They don't have that. They don't have the passion for the IP. They don't actually care about things in the same way that we have the passion for it. So they don't, because that's absent. They have to lean on that hating, the overly critical, the pulling on people's heartstrings, and that's how they stay relevant. And the one thing you can't stop is genuine passion in this hobby. You can't stop it,
That's the level where it's like, there's a false narrative that people think, and it's the same way, like, during by day I'm a screenwriter, and one of the aspects is there's a level that it teaches you in Hollywood to be a professional. And if you're starting a podcast or you're starting to get on and stream or something else like that, no matter what you are, you're a professional. And there's a level and there's a way to act. And here's the thing. One, you need to be entertaining. Because every one of the people that are in the chat tonight, they don't have to watch us. Right. They make a concentrated choice.
Except for Bly, he has to.
They make a concentrated choice to do that. And for us, the acknowledgement of it is that the same way you could be watching HBO Max, you could be doing whatever it is. There's another channel to tune into. But if you're taking that time to watch us, then a la us as professionals, now it's come out to the point, what do we do to entertain you, and how can we make you feel that you're a part of the show, you're part of the community, and that we respect your time as much as you respect ours. That's what it becomes to be a professional, and that's something that I'm starting to see, that is the difference between the people that are doing good on channels and the people that aren't anymore. How is your level of professionalism going?
And at the end of the day, we all encourage each other and live in the space as collectors. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't buy the lat because it's not my scale. But you know what? I was on I was glued to the internet. Every stream Tommy was doing, every stream Cody was doing, everybody that was on this lat thing, I was on there and supporting it and trying to put everything behind it. Instead of like, this sucks, your collection sucks. And it's like, there's no way and ever that we're ever going to tell someone else how to collect.
This is I don't know if you guys are like on a time frame. I don't want to jump into
go for it.
This
is something we brought up on SWTVC over the weekend. My favorite thing, and I could use the lat as an example. I could also use the TVC ATRT as an example. We were trying to talk about our excitement for this, and then people come in and they're like, "Well, it should be $40." I'm like,
right.
Okay, and I had to take a step back and go, okay, based on what? That's another thing with the people in the the streaming world. You're like spreading misinformation, because like there's point, like they'll want to make a point because they speak so matter of fact about everything.
Right.
It's very much like, well, the Republic gunship should have been $350, And because, for whatever stupid reason they come up with, well, now all the people that choose to watch this show because they respect what you have to say about this topic, they're going to go run around and regurgitate what you said because you're seen as a voice of authority because you have the platform. And whether you like that or not, whether you want to acknowledge that or not, it's the truth. I think it's important to, in this hobby, be genuine and be authentic with your audience and be as educated as possible on this hobby and help spread that education with your audience on how the industry works, what goes into making the toys that we buy on the shelves, all the different pieces of the puzzle that come together, things, the stupid shit too, like the, excuse my language, like the tariffs, like the, the licensing fees, all the stuff that adds to that price.
Because there's a difference between what the lack price was compared to what something, because Hasbro does not own that property. G.I. Joe, they, you can say maybe there's a level of certain points of corporate greed that can be piped into that, but they own that. There's no other person to pay out, no royalties, nothing else back. That's them. That's why that and Transformers do extremely well, and that's why they push those products. More teams, more collectives, more situations. But when it comes to that, it's like Tommy's right. You've got a responsibility, and the responsibility is that, do we want to see this carry beyond? Because I'm going to conventions, you're going to conventions, and you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing younger fans in these conventions, and it makes me happy when I see that. I was in the Target the other night, and this little guy just runs down and he runs into he was like, no, I don't want this. He didn't want the Fisher Price stuff. He wanted he wanted basically the Star Wars Black Series figure. And his dad was like, well, yeah, all right, man. And it was kind of funny that that's what he wanted. And for me, I'm sitting in the store like, this is the next generation that's going.
Yeah, of course.
His joy. And it was like the greatest day on the face of the planet. We all want that from people that are collecting. It's the greatest thing because we can find so many other things that we could not feel good about. It's great to be somewhere and feel good and be a bunch of people that make you feel good with it too.
I literally had just today I did my little short at Walmart that I was talking about. I usually record what's on the shelves and everything. I looked at Jen, my fiance, we were there together, and I went, hey, we're gonna have to circle back. There's too many kids in the aisle. I couldn't even get to the Star Wars section, and that's been happening the last few times I've been to Walmart.
Awesome.
Doesn't matter what day of the week, doesn't matter what time of day. That hasn't happened in years, and all of a sudden, these last 6 months, I've been going to Walmart, going to Target, and I'm like, oh, I can't even get to the Star Wars section because there's kids in the toy aisle like they're supposed to be.
That's
and I'm like, it's so inspiring for me, having grown up with this hobby the way I have, grown up into it. Like my dad was collecting when I was a kid, so I was always surrounded by this culture. And that is, like this. I mean, look at big social media. Bly in the chat. That's crazy. That's crazy down here. I love that.
Did you try?
That's crazy. But no, it's on the flip side of that too. Look at social media personalities. If you guys know the Rizzler, he's this little 10-year-old kid and he does the Riz face. He made it on all these big talk shows and everything.
Yeah.
He is so into Marvel Legends, and he just posted something on his Instagram the other day. It's him showing off his display of Marvel Legends. He displays his figures how we display our figures.
Yeah.
All of them lined up on a nice shelf that's covered up with a lid on the front. It's a character poster. The hobby is changing and evolving, and that's what I love to see, is that it's not the same as it was when I was a kid, when you guys were kids, but it's changing and it's evolving into something else. I love to see that, and it just kills me when people are so, we get on these streams and you see people that are just so tone deaf while claiming to be very knowledgeable on the ins and outs of the hobby, and just misinforming people. And it's just so frustrating as a fan and as a collector and as a content creator to see that,
You want to see the joy, and that's the thing, is that our community only works as well as the joy is there, and when it's at its worst is when the joy is being zapped out by the airways that the people are putting out, and it's also by the corporations and Target retailers, and there's a whole bunch of things involved. But when there's a perfect synergy of it, and you see that people are happy, and I got to say, all these conventions out here are doing a better. The small community conventions are doing a better job.
Yeah, well,
Because
they understand
people
the
are
structure of it. Understand
cosplays being rewarded.
Yeah.
Young fans, a lot of these events are free to younger fans that are coming in. And you're starting to see that. Again, I've seen more knowledgeable guys on 3 3/4 come in, and you're looking like, whoa, how does he know that? Right. This is what's going on. I think we've got to actually enforce
there
that.
It is right there.
More.
Yeah,
there
Chris
on the money.
Yeah, my son displaces Micro Galaxy Squadron, doesn't play with them. Yeah, I don't play with mine either. But
I totally don't play with my no.
I've lost all minifigs, by the way.
but that's what's hitting us though, is that there is a responsibility. And if you're running from that responsibility, then you don't have a sense of awareness, because people want joy. They want to do things that make them feel good, and they want to be around people that feel good. That's what we need to promote.
Just because your life is miserable and you're putting all your energy into yelling about toys online, that doesn't mean that that's what everyone else.
But also,
to hear
you're the wrong person. If that's what it's bringing out of you, you need to find something else that's bringing you that joy. Because what we're starting to see is that don't tear my happiness down just so you get 5 minutes of feeling better.
You know why they? Yeah, it's. Everybody would just be self-aware of why they're doing that. You know what I mean? Just it's that the clicks and everything.
It's
else.
about the numbers. It's about how many zeros are on that view count.
Absolutely. Yes. And again, guys, to wrap it up tonight, it's we do this because it's fun, and we talk about the hobby because because it's fun to talk about it. It's boring to just put the figure on and not showcase it and review it and compare collections to ourselves and see what other people are collecting, different ways and different waves and stuff. For a perfect example, I used to be 100% into classified, right? Like 100%. And then I just was like, I've got to refocus, but I'm rooting for it. I never root for it to be like, because I don't collect anymore. That means I don't want Alex to be happy about it anymore because he's still collecting. You know what I mean? And I think that mentality goes a long way. And there is a huge difference between being, like I said, living in the moment, constructive criticism, and being negative and toxic. So, and I think everybody here, of course, that's why we do this all-star powerhouse Mondays with Blitz and Alex and everything, is to bring in not just my voice and everything, but bring in other respective and collective, you know what I mean? And of course, our pit is amazing. You guys have been on fire. I couldn't keep up with some of the stuff, and you guys were
love that comment
along
by Sean too, right there on the screen, where that's the perfect example of
Sean
what it means
Woods,
to be happy about that.
Yeah, when I picked up 4 Stormtroopers for $15 a piece on clearance at Walmart, I felt like a little kid again. I was so happy. Cool. Yeah. Every time Amazon pulls up or FedEx, it's FedEx because Hasbro Pulse uses FedEx. Every time FedEx pulls up, I'm like, oh, let's go. What? It's like, what did I order? I forgot what I ordered. I'm looking, it's cool, man. And I think this right here too.
What up,
Gil? Watching from the Philippines there again.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Worldwide. I love it. I think it's great. I think our hobby is awesome. Linkstein. The Walmart buy me still Stormtroopers for $30. That's a sin.
I hold too that was a market test. I think they were seeing how a $30 figure would perform in the stores. Yeah.
Good point about that.
Sorry, Bly. If you don't hate what I hate, you're stupid and wrong. Oh, guys. Well, I mean, look. By all means, is the conversation over? Because in our syndicate, the very first link in the description below is our syndicate Discord, where all from toy photography to comic book to film to the shows that we're doing here and to kind of keep the conversation going. It's a great Discord. It's a great place to hang out afterwards and to keep up on things like if Tommy's going to be doing Xbox, Battlefront.
Playing Discord game night.
Yep.
And if you don't, and if you're not up on the scheduling and stuff, if you want to know what it drops from SKN or Sarlacc Digest, it's all in there. So it's a great opportunity for us to all kind of build a community and keep this conversation going. So with that, guys, first and foremost, Pit, you guys were on fire like always. Thank you so much. We'll kick it over to Alex and SKN So what you guys got going?
Hey, well, we do our thing, man. We try to do it. We try to bring the level of positivity to the entire week. And hey,
abundance. Abundance.
And if you watch us on Monday, this starts off the week. The Starlight Toychest starts our week. Wednesday, myself, Chet, Fabulous Fig Fury, the ever-loving Scully. Like I said, we are a Toy Box.
Spare no expense over there, man. It's so good.
Toy Box Chronicles, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk about all things toys and everything. We've been having a couple of good conversations over the last couple of weeks. Nostalgia was last week. Got some good stuff planned for that. Then after that, of course, obviously the Starlight Digest podcast. So that's 2 shows on Wednesday that can actually, you're having a hard time from work, talk a little toys, talk a little Star Wars on Wednesdays. Then on Friday, we've been on fire on Friday. Friday morning, Good Morning Toy Box. That's right. You can talk a little toys in the morning or early afternoon if you're on the East Coast. 10 a.m. Pacific. And then guess what? It's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but got a lot of people that popped in the show saying, hey, I'm on my lunch break. It's nice to have something to watch on my lunch break.
I can't get my day
Tommy's
started,
been at work and popped in as well, too. So,
yes, I have. Been working day shift. Here I go, pop in on Good Morning Toy Box.
It's one of those things, but Good Morning Toy Box, myself and Mr. Maddox, it's just a lead-in show to Friday nights, and you guys have been doing a fantastic job of blowing up Friday nights.
Yeah.
Pixel, Plastic, and Ink at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. And yes, we do weather, and yes, we are going to actually add traffic to it, but we've also got plastic news toys, so you guys are really getting a traditional morning show. We're really trying to do that for you. But Pixel Plastic Inc. talking all kind of great things too. So you start the week off with Toychest, and then you end the week on SKN. And then guess what? Every now and then you do something where you get a whole week where you get a Blix Barracks on Sunday.
Yes, you do.
And guess what? You got a precursor for that week, man. And that was a great show the other night. If you're not subscribing to the Blitz Transmissions, then it's the fastest growing YouTube channel on the market. You should be, right, Tommy?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. What you got planned, brother?
Dude, I got all kinds of stuff. Right now, it's out for my Patreon members, but tomorrow's review is going to be Toba Fett.
All right.
Who, Mooch, I'm sorry, the jetpack sticks.
I got a bomb, man. Look,
I don't know what's bomb.
Look.
No,
look.
I swapped it. I swapped it.
It's coming off. Look, boink. Look, it's coming off. No, it was hanging by that. Oh, it was physics, So.
Oh, hey guys, Shelf Life here. Go follow Shelf Life on Instagram. He's got an awesome giveaway going on right now because he hit 3,000 followers on his Instagram.
Hell yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Great Halo and Star Wars toy content there. I also have lots of other reviews coming out. Topical videos, Blitzcast every Saturday, supposed to be every Saturday. Got this I just found at Walmart today. Can't wait to put this on the Cube Squadron and get this reviewed. Yeah, awesome stuff all the time. Blitz Transmissions, all kinds of Star Wars content. You know where to find me, here on YouTube mostly, but also very active on Instagram. And I have, in about a week or so, the Blitz Transmissions Black Series March Madness Order 66 edition Year 2. Is going to be kicking off, second annual. So I'm going to be leveling it up compared to what I did last year. Hope you guys are ready. So
we're ready, dude. I'm over ready.
Yeah.
Margaret Wood critiquing it and a deconstructed criticism is important when it is warranted. But there needs to be a balance, as with most things. Like that's why we're here, man.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here. Yeah, you guys. Links are in the description below again. To kind of go check out and get your week going. It's always something cool happening. Thank you so much, everybody. Toychest every Monday, 5:30. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notification so you never miss an update. And then if you guys want to get down and talk some Star Wars proper, meaning the news and rumors and theory crafting all around, not toys, but Star Wars itself, the timeline, the thing that made us here, our Wednesday show, our Flagstaff show, which is 8 p.m. It's late, I know. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific. Catch us on the replay again and hit us in the Discord again, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night. Go eat something. Stay safe, East Coast, with the blizzard happening. We just went through rains. That's why I wasn't here last week.
Stay frosty on the East Coast.
I wasn't gonna say that. That's rubbing salt.
Stay frosty.
So, all right. So with that, we are done. Tommy, you
keep it nerdy.
Oh, you did it. You did it. All right, guys. Have a good night.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.